Walked a week, nose to the ground. I laced my boots 1 foot at a time. When this world tries to bring me down, well then the weekend rolls around, yeah. Hitting town, gonna tear it apart. Getting tore up, all breaking hearts. I live it up while I can. A little danger, little fun, that's who I am, yeah. 10 feet tall and bulletproof. I'll finish this shot and show you the truth. I don't look like much compared to him, but after a fifth of jam, your lady's looking good tonight. Shaking her ass, making me feel right. You don't stand a chance when I let loose. 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Show winds wanna him. That's when the fun begins. I grab my bottle, push my way to the bar, with your girl hanging on my arm, yeah. Not slowing down, we're gonna go all night, doing body shots off your wife. The night ends in a fight. Well, that's the way you live my life. 10 feet tall and bulletproof. I'll finish this shot and show you the truth. I don't look like much compared to him, but after a fifth of jam, your lady's looking good tonight. Shaking her ass, making me feel right. You don't stand a chance when I let loose. 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
Welcome to Gravel Trap Legends, and here we are at the Monza, the Temple of Speed, for the first round of Master of Endurance. I'm your host Neil Haynes, known as Woody Lizard in the sim world, and we are excited to hit this track for the Master of Endurance here on Automobilista 2 for Gravel Trap Legends. This 5.7 kilometre circuit, 11 turns. And it is a sensational circuit, as we know at Monza. So this is a 6-round championship and 90-minute races. And we have got the qualifying just happening here at the moment, the Hyperpole. But we'll have a quick look at the weather. And we can see at the moment it's going to be those skies have miscalculated, has got it right, we hope. Those storm clouds in the distance, hopefully they won't come and bother us. But we'll shortly see how this all goes. So let's find out how these top 6 drivers are going for the qualifying session. And we should have the screens up now. So the top 5 drivers, I think it is, doing their top laps. They've got 6 minutes remaining at the moment. It's this man, Magic Mass, out on pole position with a 36.52. And as we speak, Gunn just puts it on pole position. Please let us know if you've got all the visuals. I had some problems last night trying to stream, so if you can see the action on screen and can hear everything, please let me know. And I know that we're all going in very well for Gravel Trap Legends' first round of the Master Endurance Series. So we'll just keep on Magic Mass as he comes out, or runs wide out of one of the Lesmo number 2. So that's not going to do him any favours, but he's got enough time to carry on. And as you can see, these absolutely brilliant liveries that have been done through the Masters of Rock and Roll. And who would forget this album? Probably one of their worst, actually, the spaghetti incident from Guns N' Roses. Gunners all over it, though, on pole position. But yeah, any of those viewers that are watching, please let us know if you can see some visuals. So we know that everything's all right. Gunners now into the pits. So, Cuckoo, what has he got for us? So we've got the drivers. I'll bring up a list why these guys are going through before we get to the very end. So for the grid order from position, I'll just try and pick it up here from position 7. I'll bring it up on your screens there. So you should see there, we've got Travis in 7th position and Christopher Razor in 8th. So these guys are in the pits at the moment. This is all done by time trial. So the top 6 go through for this hyper pole, and we've only got the 5 at the moment. So this is the order from 7th, as you can see on your screens. And we've got the rock and roll concert tickets there for everyone to enjoy. So Christopher in 8th, 9th will be Brett S with Mark 860 alongside him with a working class man. Beastie Boys of the Rhetorical Gambit, they're in 11th position. And then we have got in 12th position Adrian W with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away now. And on the next row we have got of the grid on 13th Trimington, and he's what's he got there? I'm not too sure what his one is there, unfortunately. Someone might be able to let me know. But 14th is obviously Bents as well. And then Smithy in 15th, then left has got his left hand out there for Midnight Oil in 16th position. And 17th, we haven't got graphics for 17th, but that's Kids, the man that does all the graphics work, hasn't been able to get his ticket and his name on the concert ticket. And same as No Frills in 18th position. But we'll get all them up for next week for round 2. And then in the last part we have Pixel Boy in 19th position, Primal Scream, and our Fat Boy Slim of Stew in 20th position. And who could remember the Wild Stallions from, what was it, I'm trying to think, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in Scar in 21st. And Truey in 22nd, Max Power, the Razor's Edge, AC/DC. And 24th, Mac Attack. Again, another graphic there that we'll hopefully get back very shortly. So let's go back to the action, guys, for the last part of qualifying. And let's see how these orders are going. So Magic Mass is the man at the moment. Cuckoo just gone over the line up into 3rd position. Hard on the brakes. So he's not going to get another lap. He's done. So the hyper pole is coming down to the last start. We've got the Foo Fighters of the Bloody Night. And look at him coming on through the Ascari chicane, I think that is. No, it's not the Ascari. It's actually the Varenti. He's going in through the Lesmos now. So what can he do? Powering down into the entry to the Ascari chicane. Don't these cars sound great as well? What's he got here coming up? I should have had the map up, guys, so we could have seen the sector time. Sorry about that, but the Bloody Nine, is he going to improve from the 4th? No, he can't, but he's going to get one more lap in if he wanted to, but he's not going to choose that. So Gunner's the last man out on track at the moment, pushing track limits there. If he continues on, we'll know that he is still within the limit on the exit of the Lesmo number 2. comes under the old part of the circuit, and he's still got a little bit of work to do. 0.1 down on his best time, so one would think that he's not going to get pole, but he's going to be alongside Magic Mass for the start of this race. So buckle in, guys. We're going to have a 90-minute race, and it's going to be sensational, and we know that these longer races always bring some drama out, and they come alive in the last 10-15 minutes as the drivers with strategy all play out. So here he comes, trying to take the shortest route as possible down this straight, and I don't think he would have got it. No, he doesn't. He's there on second position. So these guys will start on the grid in those same positions, and then as you will see from then downwards, we'll have the grid order as we'll quickly refresh that. So you'll see obviously from first we got Magic Mass, Gun 180, Cuckoo in third, the Bloody Nine in fourth. And I think it was John Slow in fifth position. So then the other guys, because we're normally six, so just take out the seventh position. He'll be up one extra spot. And then we'll move on to the second part of the grid as well, as the drivers all get themselves ready. They'll have their manual formation lap. So there's your, we'll have a look at all those drivers. Let us know if there's drivers there that you want me to have a look, and we'll make sure that we get some of that action. And the tail end of the grid will be these guys. So they'll get themselves all in order through their formation lap. So I'm just trying to get a little bit more info that I kind of found a little bit hard to try and find at the moment, clicking the wrong screens. But here we go. So it's 2 times tyre wear as we come back to the action of the drivers. We've got 30 seconds before they're going to ready up and get into their formation. So we have got the 2 times tyre wear, the GTL safety car, which is a manual safety car, not the in-game safety car that we see. It's called out when drivers are involved in an incident. They'll call it out, and then the leaders will then slow down, and the safety car will be a maximum of 2 laps depending on the incident and the location. But they will try and get only the 1 lap if they can to get back into the action. 5 track cut warnings is in the game before they'll have a drive through. So they'll have to be careful of getting a little bit greedy around on the lesmos, and obviously out of some of these chicanes. And also the Ascari chicane can cause a little bit of dramas, but we'll see that the top 5 there can go off in their order, and we should see everyone else starting to form themselves up as the Chemical Brothers of Magic Mass. Mass is out there in the red car, and obviously we've seen the Gunners livery of the beautiful Guns N' Roses car, and then let's not forget Cuckoo in is this the Red Hot Chili Peppers? I'm not too sure. There's these are looking mighty fine to get the job done tonight. We'll see how it goes. And the Foo Fighters of the Bloody Nine, what a great livery this is. These are some special liveries that the Gravel Trap Legends members have all spent a lot of time. And as you can see, these would be fairly tricky to get these liveries all together. So the Metallica Ride the Lightning of John Slow. I'm sure we're going to see sparks fly with Mr. Slow. What a great livery that is. That's come out something special, I think. Esky Man. And we'll have 90 minutes to be able to really enjoy some of these liveries, guys. So if there's one there that you really love, here's the Red Hot Chili Peppers of Travis Moan in the Honda. And then we have obviously Christopher Razor in the TISM. That could get a little bit messy in the cockpit of that car. Brett S, the prodigy man. Look at this car. All nice and gold, ready to go from Brett S. And then we've obviously got Mark 860. So there's your 10. Let's now find ourselves back in to what we want to see, the start of this race. So the damage is on, set at medium level, full damage, and a 60-kilometre pit speed limit. So, and stewarding is also active, and that is going to be handled after the race of any penalties that may need. So the drivers have to be on their best behaviour. And Monday night, this is where they all expect everyone to have done plenty of practice and feeling comfortable on the circuit in the cars. It's not really about being actually full-on pro drivers, but drivers that are very, very capable of running amongst the pros at the same time. So here we go. Stu for the win from TVJP Sim Racing. Well done, Tim. And make sure that you all subscribe to TVJP Sim Racing on YouTube, because that's where these videos end up. So make sure that you click on there, and off we go for the 90 minutes, and it is Magic Mass having a nice lead here. But look at Esky Man having a look down the inside up into third, and they're all trying to filter through this turn one. And Smithy, they're getting through 2 by 2 very nicely. A lot of respect thrown early on through this first chicane. And it is now the pressure from Gunner on early on Magic Mass. He doesn't want to let Magic get a little bit of a early lead in this race. He wants to keep this pressure on. And obviously doesn't. We've got to try and look after some of these tyres as well. Try and limit the pit stops. Fuel is at normal level, I believe, so fuel won't be a problem. They will have to pit though in that 90 minutes. We're expecting probably 2 or maybe even 3 pit stops in this race. As here they come, filtering on down into... Sorry, we're just trying to get a camera going from here. We've missed in it all, the action. There's Christopher Razor holding off John Slow, dropped a position, started in 5th position. He's actually down 2 positions, but looking for a move to make a move now on Christopher, and he's made that stick. So nice move by John, and he's making away from a bad start and finding himself now in 6th position. As they all come down this long straight. Look at this train of cars. It looks fantastic as they all come filtering down. And Brett S is just hanging on the back here of Travis Moan in front, who they're all following John Slow at the moment. And a mighty couple of times. Esky Man with a 143 on that opening lap in 3rd position. Don't be shy if you're watching, guys. Let us know who you want to see, and I'll try and get them out to you. You've got a long way to go, guys. So I'm here to keep you guys entertained. As Brett's just having a little look. I think it's Travis Moan, sorry, having a look in the Red Hot Chili Pepper Honda. Hey, buddy. All right, so there's a move here from the Bloody Nine. I mean, from the Foo Fighters car of the Bloody Nine. Having pressure now on Esky Man, so we thought Esky Man was going pretty good. Oh, we'll be sure we'll see a bit of the rhetorical gambit. We love the gambit for sure. Currently in 13th position. As was a little bump there, was there? But here we go around the outside. Is this man Cuckoo showing the love? All come through this chicane. As we wait for Rhetorical Gambit, and here he is, the Beastie Boys. And what a livery this is, and look at this, he is in a big battle with many of cars. Round they go through the both of the Lesmos. And he's trying to defend off Smithy, who's having a good run in 14th position. Did well in the Formula Juniors. And get him, says Mick, that kid. Yes, definitely. Here he is down the inside. And it looks like Adrian W. dropping a position. So he's away from that unlucky or the lucky 13 number. So that's now for Adrian to deal with. And look at them all going. We had one call out for Stu earlier. So here he is. Look at him come on down in the Beastie Boys car. Look at this. Doesn't this look good? As down the main straight they go. Monday Night League champions, and that's what it's all about. And we've got a little move at the background of Scar 666. He's trying to see if he can make this move on Stu into the first chicane. Up over the chicane they go, over the bumps. Got to be careful that they don't do that too much. They got a flat bottom, these cars, and they can really get wedged and have a little bit of a spin on those curbs. So just got to be careful. Oh, thanks Knobs for the camera. It's definitely thank you to Knobs for the cameras, but it looks like that they're slowing down for a safety car. Let's bring up a map. There's something going on here. So Max Power is coming on through, but there must have been something in the mid-pack here somewhere. And mentioned about the cameras, I think it was actually Scar 666, this man, that told me the little secret of pressing the minus button, which gives us these nice little flyby cameras, like a, what do we call it, a drone. And this one's not too bad, as you see the exhaust coming on through. Bit blurry, but it also gives a nice little visual as he all comes on through. You can just see some of the details. Look at that Scar 666. Might not come up as clear as what I can see at the moment on my screen. Obviously streaming it's not as good. It's just a shiny Scar 666. So that's some nice work done in the livery editor as well. Yeah, pretty cool, I say. It's pretty impressive by the driver. So here we go, the magic muscle of Magic Mass. What can he do? So will anyone, I don't think they're going to have another lap under safety cars because they're all rejoined in this line of cars. So they will restart this lap around. As I think it's one of the cars are coming on through. So these cars are coming through. You can see they have got no wings. So they're coming on through for pit stops. So they were the guys that were involved in an incident. They look like Peugeots actually. So they're going to come into the pit lane, but will we see the start of the race? Oh, a late move into the pits, I think by Cuckoo as well. So he's then, well, they're not going to start this race on this lap. So look at everyone taking advantage of an early pit stop. Get some fresh tyres on, fill those tanks up. And there's another car coming on through as well with minus a wing. So a few drivers there. Rhetorical Gambit. So he's glad that this safety car, he's going to be able to get back onto the back of the grid. So don't mind. Keep those support going for the Rhetorical. The pit crew seem to be having a Rhetorical break at this time. just trying to find gear by the looks of things. Bit of work needs to happen with the wings to get on. So here comes Christopher. He's coming on out. Oh, they come out together. Not a, the stewards might say not a safe rejoin, but luckily Ghosting is on into the pits. How far can they go for a pits for fuel? Well, Tim, I'm not 100% sure, but I think there was talk that the fuel would last around that 45-minute mark. So a 90-minute race, but obviously these safety cars, they'll probably only need to pit once for fuel, but the problem is the tyres. I believe after about 30 minutes or so of running, especially when they've run them pretty hard, the tyre wear, they're going down to using about 40% of their tyres, so leaving them about 60%. And as we know, once these tyres get to 50% or below, they're starting to drop off a little bit. So you think about that 30 minutes to 40 minutes for the tyres with the ×2 tyre wear. These drivers are going to have to put a bit of thought in. Are they going to only do the one stop and nurse these tyres, or will they go flat chat, try and make a bit of a gap or a break and come in for that second pit stop for fresh tyres? Obviously safety cars are going to be this thing where they're going to be able to, this might extend most of these drivers to just a one pit stop, except for those guys that came in early for the damage. So everyone is now back in line. Hey, who we got there?
You got Mark 860.
Hey Mark, welcome aboard. You are here live on the broadcast.
Yeah, well, I'm not racing anymore.
What ended up happening to you, my friend?
Lost my sound in my headphones, and my young fella tried to help me out, plug in another set of headphones, but tried to put it in the on-off button instead of the USB port.
Oh, that's a shame. So a little gremlin in the car, an automatic shutdown for Mark, unfortunately. So we're about to start, but Mark, if you want to stay in with us, and if you're watching the stream, you can help us out a little bit, but you might be able to answer the question that's out there. How long does the fuel last in these cars? Will they get through the race with only one stop with fuel? We know the tyres are at ×2, but the fuel load?
Yeah, you can do it with one stop.
Okay, so the tyres are probably the telling factor in this, I'd assume.
Yeah, I think some of these faster guys will go for a two-stop, and the other ones will go single stop, I reckon.
Yeah, nice. So have you got a favourite livery other than your own at the moment, or is it a bit too early to tell in the series?
Yeah, it's a bit too early. I haven't really looked at them all yet.
Yeah, I think all our viewers will start to get a fan favourite somewhere along the line in the next couple of rounds, and I'm sure we'll get some voting going midway through the season to find out who's the favourite livery out on track. That's a shame. This is a really good circuit for these cars, and to have that automatic shutdown in the car from the pit crew doesn't help things, Mark, but sit back, enjoy the rest of this race. We've got an hour 15 remaining of the race, and we've got a few people picking. We've got a viewer that's looking forward to seeing a little rhetorical gambit, and there's been a roughy pick of Stu to win the race tonight. So that's long odds for Stu, but currently up in 17th position. And he's wearing the #1 number board for the Fat Boy Slim car. Pixel Boy just in front of him. I believe that's the big red car from the Wiggles. And look at this, 3 wide coming up into the first chicane. Someone's going to yield. Is it going to be Pixel Boy or Stu? Stu's got the line, and he's holding strong. Can he get that exit to try and keep Pixel Bay at bay here, Pixel Boy? Actually, he's not the Picture Boy's not the Wiggles. I think it's this man, Mac Attack. Have a look at this livery, guys, as he's getting under attack by Scar. And Scar's having a good look into the chicane here, and it looks like he's going to make this stick. Getting very close indeed. The Mac Attack finds himself there in 20th position. 9th in class, because there's a couple of different classes here. I haven't gone right through that. I was strapped a little bit for time, so I haven't had all my research, guys. So round 2 next week will be a lot more on board, and we'll definitely be on the pulse. And here we come. Esky Man under attack by John Slow. Actually, it's the bloody 9 that's taken the move down the inside up into 3rd position. We saw Esky Man with the early pace, but after the safety car, he's getting swamped as John Slow's having a look down in the inside. He's got the headlights blaring. And what were the track conditions like in your limited time out there, Mark?
Yeah, they're pretty good, mate. I think they've plenty of grip. They'll only get more grippy as the race goes on.
Yeah, definitely. Can you give us shed a little bit of light? We've obviously had the missus weathercast saying it's clear skies, but what was the track temperature roughly on there? Did you get a chance to see what the track temperature was hovering around?
Yeah, I was a bit slack and didn't even look. Looks like we're having some glitches. Somebody's stuck in the middle of the track.
Yeah, I think that's might have been Gunner, but I think he's back going again. I think it was one of this car here, so hopefully he's still going strong. They're in 1st position, so he was sort of like having a little pause on track, having a bit of Mario Brothers going on.
Yeah, hopefully don't have the mass dropout like the New Zealand guys had last night.
Yeah, hopefully everything's going all right at this stage. It looks good, so we can only hope. But it's still pretty amazing what we can do these days with sim racing. Obviously, the disconnects, no one likes at all. But obviously, things hopefully will come better over some time. As down the inside, so John Slow is actually on the charge at the moment. And Esky Man's sitting right beside him. Let's jump on the roof cam here as he's taken a run up into the 1st chicane. Now everyone would know John Slow, not the average racer on the YouTube channel. He's got a lot of content that he likes to do on Assetto Corsa and also Race Factor. And if we get a chance to see John Slow just in front, you'll see near the back of the wing he's got the Race Factor emblem. Some sneaky little Race Factor Race Factor 2 graphics on his car. The lap 10 of this race at the moment, we've got Gun 180 out in front, Magic Mass in 2nd, the Bloody 9 in 3rd position. Then we've got a little gap into this one here. John Slow just leading Esky Man, who's in 5th position. And Brett S trying to hold on to the back of Esky in position 6. So this is a nice little tasty battle. But then we've got a whole lot going in the background as well here. So left in the Midnight Oil. And he's just trying to hold off Kiz at this stage. As there's a move from Rhetorical Gambit trying to hold off Cuckoo, but Cuckoo's been able to make that move for 12th position. So Rhetorical Gambit, Mark got involved in a little bit of an accident early on there, and due to that safety car period came in for a pit stop. So he would have been at the back of the grid and finds himself up into 13th already. So he's got some pace in this car. what have we got going on around here now? Just behind, I think Kiz is having a look as well. Not too sure if your audio's coming through at the moment, Mark, but anyway, we'll carry on here with the looking at Kiz in 15th, right in the middle of left and no frills. So the Midnight Oil Car is starting to get swamped by some of the more regular GTL drivers that we've seen. Kiz and no frills. And left's doing a tremendous job here in 14th position. As the drivers behind him have got a lot of experience and fairly competent on these racetracks as well. Round the big parabolica. Puts a lot of strain on the tyres. They try and open up that steering just a little bit and drift out wide as left puts in his fastest lap time of the race with a 142.182. So not too shabby at all. Obviously would like to start to get into the 41s if he can. As some of the drivers behind him are starting to show. Stu actually did a 41.8 that previous lap as well. So stuck in 18th. If he can keep those numbers going, we should see him come up the order. He'll be happy if he can get into the top 14 or top 12, even top 12. He'll be very happy with that. Obviously needs to just limit any type of mistakes, like all the drivers through the field here. But Esky Man defending at the moment from Brett S, who has been an absolute champion through 2023 at Gravel Trap Legends. Has done extremely well throughout the year. And obviously trying to open his campaign here of the Master Endurance Series. And you will find that the reason why a lot of these drivers will find themselves at the pointy end of the championship is they just run consistently in the top 6. You know, a bad race for them will be a 6th position. So they just, even if they come behind, you might see them down the back of the grid at some stage, but they just keep on at the race and get their best position they can. And then they put a bad race behind them and reset for the next round and really come out flying. So to try and minimise any sort of issues. And look at this three-way down the straight. Looks like Scar was thinking about it, then backed right out. So he's actually came from, I think it was 16th and almost taken a position for Kiz, but he finds himself have to yield to no frills. But he's made that stick now up into 15th position. And Left is actually doing a great job because he's slowly pulled away from this field. This little battle that's going on. So he's found himself now with a little 2-second margin. Nearly 3 seconds he's taken that out to from Kiz. So he's got eyes forward now on Bent's just up the road. We haven't seen much of Bent's either. He's one of the new drivers. And it looks like he is in a, what is it, a Sepultura or something? Some heavy metal livery going on here. Oh no, Bullet for my Valentine, I think it is. Wouldn't it be great if we could just start playing some of their songs without getting copyrighted? It'll make the viewing so much fun. We could actually have a actual 22 song track list going. Why is Gambit in the pits been called? Well, maybe it's for some more damage. We've just missed any sort of missing wings or anything like that, but he's in. And looks like things aren't going good for Rhetorical Gambit at this early stage, so hopefully he can get going again. But one would think that he'd have to come back into the pits. He'll be falling a lap down on these leaders, so he'd be a lap down now, but he's just coming out of the pits now. And he's got a long way to come back through this field, so let's see what he can do in this race. This is where it comes down to character now, and just to see how they can go about it. They've been thrown a really bad card, hand of cards here. Definitely is rough, but there is that chance of that safety car, and I'm not too sure if they get a wave by if they're laps down, so that hasn't been brought to my attention. But even so, we know that the other drivers need to pit, so he could find himself, if there's a yellow, most drivers will be pitting. He can actually go straight around and he'll be able to get that lap back and then find himself back on the lead lap. So we'll keep an eye on him. He's definitely not out of this race, guys, so supporters of the Rhetorical Gambit, stay with him, because he's definitely got some pace out there. And we've got Magic Mass not being able to hold on to Gunner, as he had himself on pole position. But Gunner has just been able to hold out, and that very consistent race pace that we always see from Gunner. And a 37.7 the previous lap from Gun 180, so fastest probably lap of the race at this stage. See if I can bring up some timings here. He's had a 37.721, so almost his fastest lap that previous lap around. So that's how consistent he is. The only other driver that's been in a 37 at this stage is the bloody 9. 37.8. So, and that was, we don't know when that was actually. And then let's see Rhetorical Gambit, his best is a 140.3. So you can see all those drivers in front of him are all lapping a lot slower. So if he can manage to start getting back into those low 40s, with the rest of the field doing 42s and 43s in front of him, and he gets that lap back, he'll fire up the order. Still got 60 minutes of this race to go. And also I forgot to say that the weather is ×2 as well, so we will start to see the sun start to get lower as the bloody 9 puts in, I think no, Magic Mass actually puts in a 37.7, so he's turning up the wick as we speak. Let's have a look at his. Let's have a better look at Kiz's car here. What's Music Legends has he got flying on board here? Not even sure. He's beaten me. If anyone knows what it is, Kill Switch. Is it Kill Switch? Never heard of him, guys, but there you go. Nice view as he comes on down through. So the beautiful thing of sim racing is we can have all types of camera angles to make the viewing a little bit more interesting. Oh, was that a little twitch from him on the corner entry? It looks like he's been able to handle it if it wasn't. He hasn't cost him any time. As we just try to have a look at Travis Moan trying to hold off John Slow in position 6. Travis is in at this stage. I'm a bit partial to the Honda. Bit of a Honda fan myself, so it's good to see Travis Moan there up in 6th position at this stage of the race. So 30 minutes in, and we have the order is this man here, Gun 180, out in front, and he's got a 3.5 second margin on this man, Magic Mass, who's obviously just sort of doing much in the similar sort of times as Gunner. He's happy to where he is at this stage. knowing the pit stops have to come through very shortly. And the bloody 9. Now we've seen his performances through 2023 up and down. And it's good to see him here in the top 3 for the opening round of the Master Endurance Series. And hopefully this can continue right through, because the bloody 9 is a driver that really should be able to challenge for a championship here at Gravel Trap Legends. And he's putting his the right foot forward here for round 1 at Monza. And then behind him there in 4th position is this man, Esky Man. And he finds himself just over a second in front of this man, Brett S, who finds he's now up in 5th. He was 6th earlier, so he's made himself up 1 position on Travis Moan in the Honda. Or was it John Slow that dropped the order, because he was up pretty high as well. So John Slow may have dropped, as he's now putting in some fast laps, a 38.4 for John Slow. And along comes Cuckoo Trimington. Here we go. We haven't seen Trimington in his car, so let's give him some love. And he looks like a bit of a licorice all sort to me. And he's now in the top 10, so nice job from Trimington, must say. And he can just follow Cuckoo up on his first sector. So will we see a mid 140 from him this lap around? We'll keep on board. Or not on board, we'll keep viewing and seeing how he goes on this lap. Down through the top end of the circuit to turn 5. And let's see if he gets another green sector for sector 2. Yes, he does. He's just done a little bit better. I think he was only 1.12 up the first, now 0.13. So he's found a little bit in the second sector. So what's his last one? If you get a nice toe from Cuckoo, but he's a little bit far behind. Some of these cars, they got the DRS as well at their disposal. So what's he got here? Is he going to get into a 140.5? I think he will. He's been pretty fast in this sector. He's done more than that. He's got a 139.2. So sensational job from Trimington, as he's bouncing over the curves there, the first chicane. And here's Adrian W, the Red Hot Chili Peppers car. And he's just finds himself in that top 10, so a nice job for him. He qualified in 12th position, Adrian, so up 2 spots from the start of the race. Nice little battle, I think, maybe coming on. The timing's just a little bit out on us, but it looked like that Scar was having a nice battle there with Jimmy. What's with the band? This is the Master of Rock and Roll, the Master of Endurance Series, and they all decided there was a vote to say what are we going to do for our liveries for this series, and they all chose the Masters of Rock and Roll. So. Oh, Masters of Music, and we're looking at Scar 666, and we can obviously see he's from a movie, The Wild Stallions, from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and this is a great one. So this is probably one of my favourites. I really like this, how it's got it's pretty hard to see probably on the stream, but there's some nice really shiny black graphics on the side of the car. You've got the Scar's name and obviously the the character from Bill and Ted's. It's a nice car for Scar 666 for this series. Now, rhetorical gambit. So he's starting to bridge this gap now on max power, 35 seconds. We did see him a lot further behind, probably about a minute, nearly a minute behind earlier from Max. So he's lapping roughly 10 seconds faster than Max, so we should see him getting close to Max within the next 3 or 4 laps. And that's good to see as the Bloody Nine comes in for his first pit stop. So from position 3, he's taking his stop now for some fresh rubber. And we did hear from Mark 860 earlier, who unfortunately had a computer shut down after his microphone, his earphones went kaput. And his younger pit crew came in to try and fix his headphones and try and plug in a new one. But as he was plugging in, unfortunately, the 3.5 little jack unfortunately hit the power button on his computer. So the cars are the P1 and P2s. I think they're just different gens. So as I said, I'm a little bit not up to speed with everything here for tonight, but I will be able to get a lot more stuff written down for myself for the next one. So we've obviously got the hypercar is, I believe, the Sigma car. We got the Honda G1, the Jenetta's out there, the Judd, a Chevy and a Nissan. And I will be able to have a little bit more come up in a sec when I just find myself my nice little sheet that Kiz gave me. But I just can't find it at the moment. Oh, don't they look good, T-Bone? They definitely look great. And especially with these liveries as well that Gravel Trap Legends have done. So when will Gunner come in this lap around? So he's on his lap 22. So he's sticking to his plan of probably running halfway through this race around that 45-minute mark before he might take his stop for tyres. Tyre wear at times 2, so there's no way they're going to get to the end of the race without doing tyres. As I think Stu was behind Mac Attack there for was in front of Mac Attack. So Mac Attack's made this move in the Wiggles, the big red car of Mac Attack, which he can call his own. Actually, the beautiful stuff that I got from Pixel Boy it was. So thank you to Pixel Boy. That's given me a lot of graphics that you would have seen at the start of the broadcast. And we got the Sigma P1, the Gen 2 car, and then the Gen 1 of the P1s. I think it is. We got the Metal Moro AGR Honda, and then the Gen 1 and 2 P1 cars, the Janetta G58 and the Metal Moro. We've got both the Judd, the Chevy Gen 1 and 2, Nissan Gen 1 and 2, and the Honda Gen 2. So they're our cars that we've got. And Pixel Boy's running there in 19th position.
I believe some of those less powerful cars may be able to make it without taking tyres, just have to do a fuel stop.
Yeah, okay, Mark. So that's interesting. So obviously the less pressure from them moving so fast, the tyres might just get there to the end. So that's a big call though, with the times 2.
It'll be interesting to see how many actually try it.
Yeah, 100%. We'll keep an eye on those drivers if they can. As we've already seen the bloody 9, so he's pitted and he's come out now in 18th position. So as he's now just coming back onto the main straight. And obviously full tank of fuel and probably trying to get his everything back up to a good operating. And I believe that the tyre wear drops off just a little bit fairly quickly, the initial stage of it. And then once that tyre, that initial part goes, they sort of stabilise. Would I be correct in saying that, Mark?
Yeah, they're not too bad to start with, and anywhere between quarter and half you'll have it drop off for a few laps and then it just comes back to being good.
Yeah, okay. So we're starting to get some lap traffic involved as well now. There's no frills. Seeing who he's following at the moment, that's actually Rhetorical Gambit. So maybe that's Rhetorical Gambit actually making a little bit of a pass because he is a lap down on these cars after making some unscheduled pit stops. So for you, viewer, we'll jump on No Frills for a lap around here at Monza as he's coming just on through the Parabolica, still negotiating that long right-hander. But as he comes onto the straight, turn up the volume, guys. Enjoy on board here with No Frills. What a lap that was on board. No Frills in his his Mastodon, I think it is. Band car there in the Janetta G58 Gen 2 car. Currently in 10th position. As we watch him come on through now. Coming up into the second chicane here at Monza. The Variante Della Roggia. And he will get to pit, I believe, as well, unless he pitted earlier during that safety car, and he might be trying to squeeze this one out if he can, but I don't think he'll get there. Just up front, Magic Mass is still 3 seconds behind Gunner. And Trinidad up in 7th position, just in front of Adrian W. He's having a nice drive as well, as it looks like Adrian's coming into pit lane. Got to get on those brakes hard because it's a 60-kilometre speed limit. So he's in and he's waiting for his pit crew. As they just come out as he's coming in. So that was a late call to come in for this pit stop, Mark. And sometimes you can find that the drivers, when they come in and don't actually inform the pit crew that they're coming in, That's where we have seen in the past some pit bugs come in where they don't actually get things changed as they request, because if you just come in auto into the pits there, sometimes that can cause a few dramas. So a lot of the more experienced guys, they'll actually call for the pits, request a pit stop before they come in. And as you come into pit lane, the pit crew are normally already out ready for you. So here's the happy average racer, John Slow, in the Metallica car. He's in the Honda, the Gen 1 Honda. Currently holding 5th position, not too far away from Brett S. They've been having a great battle right through this race. 42 minutes remaining.
I reckon you'll see a lot of the boys wait for another 10 minutes before they come in, because their tyres are good. They've started with a full tank, so they'll be running on the lower fuel amount.
Yeah, so that's, yeah, definitely. So the cars will start be getting light now. And all these top guys, the top 5 anyway from John Slow, all under 40, 1 minute 40s. With Ding Dong battle up front here with a 37.9 from Gunner and a 37.9 from Magic Mass. There's nothing in it between these two. We can see a little bit of damage there on the right hand side of Gun 180. That was when we saw earlier Gun's car decided just to stop with a bit of a lag spike, and everyone else sort of collected him. So hopefully it doesn't look like that, so it'll just be visual. A bit of a net code there, so the other drivers would have had a bit of a moment, bit of a brown moment you could say. But luckily it hasn't caused any damage to the cars that were caught up in all that. But here he comes, in he comes here at the 41 minute remaining mark, right on the time. And here he comes right down this long pit lane, 60 kilometres an hour. And he might come in and swing in front of these guys. They are ghosted. Takes out the pit crew of No Frills. And they're thinking, what's going on here? We need an ambulance in pit lane, please. So we should see No Frills come out before Gunner does. Looks like the fueler man is just trying to fill up in mid-air here. Obviously just getting probably some damage or something done there as he comes on out. So he's going to rejoin the race here. Just in front, or Stu was in pit lane there. So where's left? Left's coming down the straight now. And we have got, so he got in front of No Frills. So No Frills has just come out now. So there you go. So left has got that position on No Frills. And this is interesting. So the Bloody Nine is just coming around the Parabolica now. So he pitted earlier and out of 3rd position he was. So he may have lost some ground compared to the runners that are in front of him, as he's just trying to see if he can get through here. Christopher Razor just in front of him. So this is probably for the outright position here. Gunner out in front. While the other 3 of Christopher Razor, or the other 2 of Christopher Razor and the Bloody Nine are just coming through the Curva Grande. There's not much in it actually. We've got, 10 seconds actually in front of this battle. So we've still got obviously Magic Mass, Esky Man, John Slow to pit. And I'd say that these guys will come in front of John Slow and Esky Man, so it might be Magic Mass that'll filter in here in second. So Christopher Razor might have effectively 3rd position in this race. So the Bloody Nine's trying to have a look down into the Scary Chicane. Oh, that was close. This is when he doesn't want to get any aero damage at this stage of the race. A late pit stop here will absolutely kill his chances. This is exactly where we need to start thinking the risk versus reward, don't we, Mark? When you start to try, you want to get these positions. But as Christopher comes into pit lane, so that was Christopher still at the pit, so the bloody 9 is probably hold that third position like where he came in on his pit stop. So that's good to see.
They've probably got another couple of laps to go, and then they're going to have to come in. They'll be running out of fuel.
Yeah, so Magic Mass is going to do another lap, so he's pushing his fuel limit here. Definitely, Mark. So we'll see how he goes if he's going to come in this lap around. It'd be very good if we could actually see a fuel level of these cars. Hopefully that's something that they can implement at one stage, because if you go in the cockpit here, you don't really see much as far as the fuel level. It's got 7.4 litres. It's actually going down. So we'll keep an eye on that, because sometimes I've seen it before, but it's not relative of how much fuel they've got. But 7.1 litres on the little dash to the right.
I could do one more in the Honda.
Yeah, he's going to be pushing that fuel number is going down fairly quickly, but he's on the second part of the lap here, so he could, as you said, Mark, get one more lap out if he wants. But is it that beneficial or not? He's going to get to the end regardless with fuel, so...
Yeah, well, you're doing your fastest times at the moment, so it's well worth staying out as long as you can.
Yeah, the question is P1 cars. Yes, they are. They're a mixture of I believe they are the P1. There's Gen.1 and Gen.2 cars. So he's staying out for another lap by the looks of things. And let's see if we go to Esky Man and see what he's got. So his fuel number on this car is saying 53.5. And it's actually so I don't think that would be right. But anyway. So he's coming around and he's got his DRS active. But Sandy Cool's asking, Mark, how do the cars feel now since after the big update? I can't really answer that question, sorry. So Mark can let you know, Sandy. So Mark, fire away. How do you feel that the cars are now?
They're probably just a little bit easier to drive on, but I don't think they're any faster.
Yeah, okay. So have you found anything different as far as physics-wise? Did you drive these cars before the update at all, Mark?
I have, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you just got more control up to their limit. They don't snap so quickly.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, isn't it? Because there's nothing worse than that feeling of those cars that just snap away from you all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't think they're any quicker. They're just safer to drive on.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for that, Mark. So there you go, guys. So if you've got the game, make sure you get out there and get the cars and give them a spin as Magic Mass comes into pit lane. And let's have a little look. So he's got, so maybe the newer cars, the graphics are working. As you can see, the number going up really nicely. So that's a good job by Reza. If they can continue that on with all the other cars, with a dash display, that will help commentators immensely for these endurance races. So we'll see how much fuel he actually is going to get into this this car. And he's Magic Mass is driving the same car, the Gen.2 Sigma, as Gun 180. He's putting a lot of fuel in here. So we've obviously got Gun 180 now as he's coming on through. He's got 86.5 litres. And Magic Mass, I think he's just moving out of pit lane, but he's still in pit lane there, so Gunner's going to be able to get that position. What about the bloody 9? So He's the next one, but look at the fuel level of the bloody 9, if that's correct. 26.7 litres there, Mark. So if that's correct, he's going to have to come in for another stop of fuel, and that's going to be costly for the bloody 9 because he pitted earlier, as we know.
Didn't he pit after an incident?
Yeah, he did pit after an incident, but I think he pitted on his own though. I don't know if he had a problem or anything. He just sort of came out of position 3 for an earlier pit stop, but maybe he was aiming for a 2 pit stop.
No, he would have been trying to keep his fuel load down for the middle period.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, currently holding 7th position on track at this stage, but effectively we think 3rd position. As Scar 666, I think it's a bit out of sequence for the pit stops.
Somebody running off at the back.
Yeah, I think that might have been just a lap car, and here we've got Gunner again having a little bit of a moment, so we'll just go off him there just in case we're picking him up at all. And don't want to see any incidents. We've had a good stable lobby at this stage. We've gone an hour into this race, 60 minutes. And only the one retirement, and it's the man that you hear in Mark 860 that was driving the Jimmy Barnes, the working class man. What is it, the Gen 1 Honda, Mark? So it's good to see you in a Honda anyway, mate, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Hopefully I can stay in a bit longer.
Oh, so you say maybe you've got to go wireless for the headphones, but either way, mate, the headset.
It is the wireless one, mate.
Oh, is that the one that went out? So
yeah, just totally dropped out sound, but and stopped.
Oh, that's no good. It's something's happening here. I think it's rhetorical gambit. So here we go. So there's been rhetorical gambit, as we said earlier. He's had a bit of a rough race, but now up in 18th, he was stone motherless last, and a lap down. I think he's still a lap down, but if he can somehow get that lap back, he'll be a driver that will find himself up in the top 10 before the end of this race. But he just needs something to go his way, a safety car or something, and hopefully get a lap back.
That's one of the cars that can go without changing a set of tyres, so he may be able to just do a splash and dash.
Yeah, because he was in early as well, so it'd be interesting to see if he can actually get to the end at all with the fuel. Let's we'll try and see if we've got any numbers there. This is the one where it does sort of read out 43.7, but I've had in the past where that's sometimes a little bit iffy, the figures, but if they're correct, he's got a possibility of almost squeezing this to the end if he does a bit of fuel saving, but it'll be hard. John Slow now in pit lane. But how good is having the endurance series here at Gravel Trap Legends, Mark? It's been a series that have been put on hold while we were waiting for the famous, or the long-awaited 1.8 update. And so a lot of testing had gone through for this series, and now we're seeing it all in its glory.
There's going to be a few sore boys at the end of it.
Yeah, Gravel Trap Legends aren't used to too many 90-minute races, but they're going to know about it after a month and a half of running these things.
Definitely.
What a way to open up a Monday. Get rid of that Monday work-itis blues and get in the sim racing and have a good little run for 90 minutes. Nothing better, I say.
This is around about the time you're going to have people lose concentration.
Oh, that's an excellent point you brought up, Mark. It's so vital that this concentration when you're sim racing. After that hour, 60 minutes, 70 minutes roughly, you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. The old body starts to get a few little niggles here and there, and your brain starts to drift and wander.
Start worrying about whether you put enough fuel in and all that sort of carry on.
Oh,
Thinking about other things, seeing where people are and how your tyres are going, and next thing you know, you've missed the corner.
Yeah, exactly. That does happen. Happen to the best of them. And I'll put my hand up that it's happened to me many a times as well, especially when you start doubting yourself if you have got that fuel level right. And then you start thinking, well, I better start playing with me me HUD, my little on-screen engine management system, and oh, look at this, 3 wide into the first chicane here. It's Magic Mass that makes this move on Scar. Up into 3rd position on track as Esky Man still running out in front. But yeah, exactly that. You start changing and getting a pit strategy going just in case, and you start trying to concentrate on that. And as you said before, you know it, the braking zone's gone and you're spearing off the corner and hanging on for dear life. Let's just go on board to see what his fuel levels are saying. 46.8, and here he comes. He's coming in. So that's 60 km/h pit limit. He was on there before the line, so he's nice and safe. As he comes on in now, finds his pit crew. Look at this camera as they come into pit crew and come into work. But not much action going in Esky Man's pit crew. They're probably looking at the screens themselves and just getting a little bit gobsmacked and going, wow, don't we look good on screen?
It almost looks like he's in the wrong pit.
So Gunner's come through, and here comes Magic Mass as well. So he's going to clear Esky Man as he's just starting to move now, I think, in pit lane. So he's just exiting now, and the bloody 9, I think he's just coming on through down now. So it's going to be tight, but yes, he's cleared Esky Man up into 4th position. But it'll be interesting to know if Scar 666, is he in this battle for 3rd position or is he out of sync? I'm not 100% sure, but it'd be a super effort if he is. As Scar is in the Gen 1 Judd car for the Wild Stallions. Mac Attack just in front of Mr. Kiss. So what wiggle do you think he's in this car, Mac Attack? Mark, is he Jeff? Does he have to be woken up at this stage of the race or what?
You'd hope not.
Well, we're just talking about where your mind just wanders a little bit, so you might be starting to get a little bit dozy.
Guessing it's the big red car, not the red wiggle.
Yeah, that's right. Don't want to see any red wiggling coming from Mac Attack. And what's that in the background? Rhetorical Gambit still coming up the field here now, up into 16th position. What a run he has been having. As he's just got the bloody 9 coming on there to put that lap, the 2nd lap actually on him it'll be. Or no, it'll only be the 1 lap. So Rhetorical Gambit is at the moment just on the same lap as the bloody 9. So this is where if there was a safety car at any stage, he would be pretty much just behind Scar 666. And you might know, Mark, is there any talk if there is a safety car, does any of the lap cars get a wave through it all, or they got a hold position?
I believe they've got a hold position.
Okay, so there's no wave throughs, no lucky dog laps, so...
Only if you're damaged, then you can get through safely.
Okay, yep. To go to the pit lane.
Correct.
Okay. There you go, guys. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look like Rhetorical Gambit can get his lap back if there's a safety car. But what he would be hoping for, maybe, is that he can actually just go all bars out on the restart of the safety car and try and get that lap back, and then another safety car follow, and then he can go right around then. But that's wishful thinking, I think, especially with 23 minutes remaining, and the cut-off of the GTL safety car is 5 minutes remaining of the race. And then there's no more cause for safety car. So let's rehash with getting close to the 20 minutes. So the run home's almost here. So this man, let's bring up some of these nice graphics. We've got Gun 180 in first position in the Guns N' Roses Spaghetti Incident car. And then we have Magic Mass in second position with the Chemical Brothers. Scar 666 with this question mark to see if this is actually him in that, actually in this position or needs to pit yet. For a second time, so but currently in third position. And then we have the Bloody Nine doing a good job up there in fourth position and running through some slower traffic as we speak, some lap traffic. And then there's the Esky Man, and he's in fifth position. And then John Slow, Ride the Lightning Metallica car, looking good in sixth place at this stage. 7-second margin on Brett S, as we know he's a fairly fast and capable driver. And he's got his work cut out though, as John Slow has got some nice pace, doing a 1:38 that previous lap from John Slow as well. Second faster than this man. So looking fairly good out there on track at the moment. Eighth position is this man Cuckoo. And his car is fairly clean at this stage of the race as well. So endurance racing, that's what they want to do. With Scar 666 answers our question there, Mark, and he's in pit lane. So he's going to drop down the order. As Adrian W will be looking forward to seeing if he can get that position from Scar. It'll be pretty close on pit exit. I think Scar may get out in front of Adrian. But we'll come back to that shortly. As Trimington's still in the top 10. He's having a sensational race for round one. So well done to Trimington. Keep it going. And Christopher Razor coming to grips with these P1s and doing a good job at that as well in the Tissot car. And we haven't seen too much of Smithy. But here he is here in 12th position. And he's sort of in no man's land at the moment with Bentz behind him by about 13 seconds and Christopher about the same in front. So he'll be happy where he is though at the moment in 12th. But Bentz is in that unlucky 13 and hopefully he can carry on through here and hold that position. But No Frills is behind him, just behind the Bloody Nine. So the Bloody Nine is the car behind, but the one with the lights is this man, No Frills. And it is time that the lights do come on. Most of these cars, it's getting dark, but Rhetorical Gamble, what a drive he's had from 22nd up into 15th position at this stage. So he's really recovered really well. And as I said, when he was, all the odds were against him. But here he is, he's coming in for that pit stop. So this is where it's going to really tell where he's going to come out. So that little run has now ended as Kiss comes on through in 17th. I think we missed Mac Attack. So Mac Attack was in the Wiggles car. And then Travis Moan in the Honda in 19th. 20th is Pixel Boy. And Stu was running as high as I think 18th earlier, but down into 21st now. And Max Power travelling around in the ACDC Razor's Edge car in 22nd position. And having a little bit of a rough time there at the moment, but keeping it nicely on the track. But at 152 that previous lap, we've seen him in the bit higher than that. I think that we was doing 48s earlier, but obviously just needs a little bit more time in this car to get comfortable. So we'll see him progress well through the series. There you go, 18 and a half minutes remaining. And I think it's just the 90-minute timed race. There's no one extra lap, if you can confirm that at all, Mark.
That's correct, it's just a straight time, there is no extra lap.
Beautiful, so that will make things easy. As Gunner again just glitching a little bit, so his connection's not the greatest. As Magic Mass just putting another lap as the Bloody Nine goes into the pit lane. So we did see that his fuel level was down, so that's he's really I think this is really working. He's actually said he had no fuel then. Came in with 0 fuel, so we'll try and confirm that during the week, and we'll, after the race, and we'll let everyone know next week when we come live again on Monday night for Gravel Trap Legends, as the fuel number's still going even while he's going. So that's a little bit strange, isn't it, Mark? You'll be maybe a little bit delayed, but once you get on your screen, you'll see that the fuel numbers were still going as he was motoring out of pit lane.
Yeah, I don't think that actually means a lot.
It's a shame though, because when it comes to endurance racing, it can be a really telling factor of how much fuel people have got. And yeah, and when you can start seeing, especially when races come down to fuel levels, sometimes it's good to have that little bit of element in a broadcast to keep everyone entertained and knowing where people might stand in the race as well. So Brett S, he's got Cuckoo catching the back of him as well. So we'll keep an eye on this battle for 5th position actually, because this is looking to be heating up before the end of the race. And Cuckoo will definitely be wanting to try and see if he can grab this position from Brett. Rhetorical Gambit's dropped down to 21st after being as high, I think, was it 15th there from that pit stop. So he's going to get to the end now. He'll try and see if he can pick up some pieces. He may get up into 19th if he can find that extra pace again. Definitely should be able to get Stu for 20th. Let's compare how these lap times go between Brett S and Cuckoo. So there's not much in it at all. 39.5 place 39.4 for Cuckoo. So Cuckoo's found a little bit of extra time on Brett that previous lap. So the last couple of laps, I think Cuckoo's been slowly catching Brett. This is really the battle of the race at this stage, especially for the top 10, within the top 10 I should say. Rhetorical Gambit just running a little bit wide to let these cars come on through. Very respectable driving, and so we're going now well and truly into dusk now. Sundown. So what's your pick, guys? Who do you think's going to win out of this battle between Brett S and Cuckoo? So the viewers watching, let us know. Do you think this man here, we're watching Brett just in front, currently in 5th position, will keep this position, or will it be this man behind Cuckoo in the black car? Already Sandy Cool likes to see Cuckoo. He's actually on the back of Brett S's gearbox now. And I think it's all been sold here. Cuckoo comes on through into 5th position. So that was short-lived there for Brett S in 5th position, but Cuckoo's been able to pull it up too. So it's a tricky point to make sure you get those braking right into that first chicane, making a move. So well done to both drivers. And Cuckoo now can try and get a little bit of a gap to solidify, like just to make this position solid for him in 5th position. Still that time to go. We were talking about earlier where just mentally you start getting tired, your mind starts wavering around a little bit, get some distractions here or there, and you start getting a few little aches and pains as well. So anything's possible at this part of the race still, so anything can happen. And I think one thing's for sure, Gun 180 or Magic Mass is definitely going to come home with this victory tonight, without any bad luck coming their way. They've been a class of their own. But to be fair too, I think Cuckoo's got the probably a faster car. I think there might be. Oh no, they both got the Gen 2 P1 cars there. But just two different cars, two different makes. So I think Brett S is in the Chevy looking down the order there. So Brett S is in the Gen 2 Chev compared to Cuckoo's Sigma Gen 2. So that's the difference there.
Looks like John Slow's right on the back of Mac Attack.
Okay. I had to put a lap down there, so here he comes on through. Is it? Oh, that's a bit dicey through there. But John Slow wouldn't be happy by Mac Attack's little move there into the Ascari chicane. As Mac Attack looks like he's a little bit racy there. A lap down. Keys at the moment as well. Got driver left, the Midnight Oil car. Coming on through down into the first chicane. Jeez, he was downshifting pretty hard there, late in the race. Mechanically, you want to start to look after the car that little bit if you can. So the late viewers that are coming in, just to let people know that you may have seen what's all with the liveries. They look all like rock bands out there. Well, that's what it is. The livery theme was for all music scene anyway. So a lot of great liveries out there done up. So this is one of them with left in the Midnight Oil car. He's trying to chase down Kiz, who's up in front of him at this stage by up the road around about 3 seconds. And I think he's losing touch at the moment as Kiz just seems to have that little bit of extra pace late in the race with 10 minutes remaining. So we probably will see around about another 6 or 7 laps maybe. The big story though of the race I think was Rhetorical Gambit. We're not too sure why he came into the pits. There was something there that didn't quite happen. We think it might have been for damage. He had damage early on in the race, which was the safety car came out. So he got that damage done and back on the tail of the grid for the restart, and he was flying. He was up. He came up to around 12th position or something before we went away from him, and then later on it was brought up to our attention that he was in pit lane again. And by the time we went there, it looks like they had already repaired his car. So we're not too sure if he was missing parts or what happened there, but an unscheduled stop. But you can see he's doing a 139.642, so that time really shows that he should be a little bit higher up the grid. And just looking there, this man here, Travis Simone's another driver that should be up a little bit higher. So a few mistakes has cost Travis in this race, down in 18th position. And how's the Honda to drive, Mark? You're driving the Honda. A fun car. You think it's going to be an enjoyable car to run for the rest of the series?
Oh, I think so. They're a lot of work, but great fun.
And they've got the DRS too, as you can just see the flap closing as he comes into the Ascari. So I guess you're using that quite a lot around here at Monza.
Yeah, you can pretty much use it everywhere apart from the chicanes. Well, quite like.
You wouldn't be able to get through here with it on, would you? Through the Parabolica?
No.
Yeah,
No, but you
close there.
sort of 3/4 of the way around, you can snap it open.
Yeah, right. Hold on for dear life, I guess.
Yeah, there's a bit of that goes on. But yeah, the more you can have that open, the better.
Now, just looking at here, Magic Mass, with 7 minutes remaining, has been lapping a little bit quicker than Gunner the last few laps, and he's closed that gap. It was up around 8 seconds, I think, or 9 seconds I saw, with about 15 minutes remaining. So he's now got that down to just under 6 seconds to Gunner. So are we seeing a move now from Magic Mass, as he has just done a 36.802. That has to be the fastest lap of the race right there.
I reckon John Slow's slowly catching Esky as well.
Yeah, you're right, he sure is, with a 38.8 from John Slow compared to a 41 from Esky. So Esky's even made a mistake of fuel conserving. So yeah, just brought to our attention that Brett S isn't giving up either, so he's just not quite the same pace as Cuckoo, and 2.5 seconds up the road Cuckoo is. But the thing here, look at this, Gunner's in traffic, and this is what's costing him. So now the gap is under 3 seconds, Mark, so it's all happening with 6 minutes remaining.
Yeah, it should be an exciting finish.
I'll tell you what, I think Gunner's going to be lucky to finish this race. His connection is absolutely terrible. Out of all the drivers we've seen, it's actually Gunner who's been moving around. So,
He's made it this far, so hopefully he can keep going.
Hopefully he can keep going, but obviously at this stage here too, you just hopefully that the family aren't sneakily getting on and using up some of that data of the internet, but should be okay this day and age, but it's looks like it's struggling a little bit. And with him moving all around here, could be a little bit awkward for these cars. You can just see there's Trimington has a big moment as he got caught up with that lagging of Gunner, so that's unfortunate. And these are the little things that we all got to put up with sometime in sim racing, so that's unfortunate for Trimington because he was up in the 10th position. And I think Christopher Razor may have got him, did he, or not? I'm not too sure. I think Christopher did.
Yep, I think he has.
So this is a little bit of a visual soreness for these drivers, but look at Magic Mass. Let's bring up the timing quickly and have a little look to see if that lap that we did see from Magic Mass, if it's the fastest lap. He's done a 36.4. He's absolutely flying, Mark. No one's got near him late in the race here with the lap times.
Yeah, they're pretty good times. They're bumping out now.
Maybe it's because the track's cooling down a little bit. Look, he's visually can see. Fuel load
comes off to go faster.
Fuel load coming off, and also they pitted for those fresh tyres as well, so that'll be all working to their advantage. But look at this, 4 minutes remaining. We got 3 laps, I would say, of this race left to run. Maybe only 2 laps actually, looking at that time. It's going to be close, so it could get 3 just to see how it all goes, but here we go. So it looks like they've got a little bit of a distance before the next lap car, so this is going to be an all-out one-on-one race between these 2 drivers. They will get some more lap traffic before the end of this race. But at this stage, it's Gunner. I'm just going to stay off Gunner, guys, because I just don't want to be putting any extra pressure on his connection. I don't know if there's anything in that with me watching him at all. If it could, it might, I'm only just guessing. but my data shouldn't be affecting him in any way. I'm not saying that my data will be making him do it, but I would hate to see that if I'm watching him, it may just trigger him to go at any stage. So we'll keep looking at Magic Masses. He's the man that's on charge. Why don't we go on board? As we can really see now that he'll be starting to get a draft effect from Gunner, especially down the main straight, the front straight here. He should be able to come off the parabolica and be starting to see the benefits of a slipstream and the toe from Gunner in front. So as I said at the opening part of the broadcast, these endurance races, yes, they're long, but they always throw some exciting racing up to the last 10 minutes, and that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a fight for the lead with 2 minutes remaining. 2 more laps to go, guys. Who's your bet on? Is it going to be Gunner hold off? We know that he can defend really well. Or is it Magic Mass, who's just got the outright pace at this stage? And this has got to be playing on Magic. He would have thought then Gunner was well and truly going off through the chicane then. Because I tell you what, while we're on board, I just thought the Gunner had outbraked himself. As they're just coming down to put a lap on the bloody 9. So, I mean, is it I'm trying to think if... Got a mental blank there, sorry. Not the bloody 9. I'm trying to think who was in the car of the movie of the... Sorry guys, I'm dribbling at the moment trying to think of who it is. The Wild Stain, Scar 666. So he's in position 9 and just finished, and now he's the first car to be a lap down. So these guys are absolutely killing it. So position 9 is a lap down. So Adrian in position 8 is the next car that's still on the lead lap. So position 8. We've got 8 cars on the lead lap here, and here we go, coming for the last lap. And the power of teleporting for Gunner 180 may just see him get to the end of this race in front. Oh, look at him go. Where is he? Oh, he went all the way back to the start of the lap. But he's still going. Is it Magic throwing some magic, though, out to Gunner? Forcing this. Is he playing a bit of Mario Brothers and throwing the black cloud over Gunner? The ink.
Christopher Frey, both pretty bloody close too.
Are they? What? As long as those graphics are right, I think you might be right here. What do we got? Half a second. Scar's in front. So Scar's the first car, the lap down. And Christopher's trying to see if he can get into that 9th position. The back up front, we'll just have a look at here, because here we come down into the Ascari chicane. And it's Gunner leading Magic Mass here on the last lap. Can he hold off? Will his connection hold off? We don't know. We've seen cruel blows before, sim racing, and look at it, they're buffing because of the lag, and he's off. Gunner 180 is off here at the Ascari. He's not going to be a happy man, but when he goes and sees the replay, you can see that Magic Mass, it was nothing to do with him there, because there was definitely some lagging going on, and Magic would not have known where he was. But here he comes around the parabolica, and it's going to be Magic Mass, whose pole man has taken victory after seeing the back of Gunner for most of this race. What a run by Magic Mass, and well done taking out the first race here of the Endurance Master of Endurance series for Gravel Trap Legends. Gunner comes home in 2nd position. And I'm sure that he's just going to have that red mist cool down, because once he sees what was going on, he'll understand that it was hard for most people following him. And John Slow looks like he's going to pick up the last podium spot. So in the Ride the Lightning Metallica car, well done to John Slow. But let's have a look, Christopher. I think he may have got Scar there in 9th position. So they were a lap down, so it looks like that's what's happened. So Cuckoo's going to come home in 4th position. So everyone else is roughly a lap down from the 8th position from Adrian, so he'll be the last car coming on through. I think Benz has finished. He finished in 13th position, just in front of No Frills, as they're all filtering down the end here to finish this race. A nice run by this man, Magic Mus. Well done to him. And he's out of fuel. Is he out of fuel? No, he's got fuel on board there, but we look at Adrian coming on over, coming down to finish the race. Well done to this man. Comes home in 8th position. So what a race that was, guys. And it was Magic Mus that comes home in 1st position. And look at that, the top 3 only having that 1 pit stop. Cuckoo having 2 pit stops, still to finish in 4th position. That's outstanding to come home in front of Brett S with that extra pit stop. So that worked for Cuckoo. The Bloody Lion tried the 2 pit stops as well with a 10-second penalty at the end of that race, which only just saw him stay in front of Esky Man by 4 seconds by the look of it, just under 4 seconds. So well done to the Bloody Nine, just holding on to that 6th position over Esky Man. And then we had Adrian W, the last car that came home on the lead lap in 8th position. As we said, Christopher Razor looks like he just got Scar in the end there for position 9. Or was it Scar was trying to get into position 9, I think it was. So yeah, I think he held him off there. Trimington, again, he got spun out there with the glitching of Gunner. And I think he was actually in the 10 then, so that cost him. And there we go, guys. So that's the end of that race. And I'll just bring us back to the end screen, guys. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed that stream. And as you can see there, this is a great graphic that we had from Pixel Boy. Look at the program guides that we've got for all 6 rounds, and you can see the schedule. We got they're all 1.5 hours up until the final round. We got Barcelona next week, and then Spielberg, which should be a classic race as well. But Silverstone always brings some great racing there for round 4. And the Nürburgring, what a track that is for these endurance cars. And then we finish off with a big one, 2 hours of Spa-Francorchamps on the 18th of September. Lock that one into your diaries, guys. You don't want to miss that. But make sure that you join me, Neil Haynes, on next Monday for the 1.5 hours due Barcelona of the Masters of Endurance. And thanks for Mark 860 coming in and giving some expert comments so we can understand these cars a little bit more. Really appreciate that, Mark.
No worries, mate. Great work from you as per usual.
Thank you, Mark. So until next week, I've been your host, and we will see you all again next week. Cheerio, everyone.